fair, but I got it. Must be something in the water. Favor ain't fair, but I got it. I got it. I got it. Good morning, good morning. Hey, must be something in the water. I don't own the song in the background. What's up, ladies? I hope I'm live, but I got it. Must be something in the water. Favor ain't fair, but I got it. I got it. I got it. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, it worked. Something in the water. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome for everybody that's joining on. Happy Tuesday. Can you type in the screen the butterfly and good morning? Let me make sure that you're there. As promised, I am going live every Tuesday in the month of October. Why? Because, Alexa, stop. Why? Because, first of all, this is an amazing month for me. So many amazing things have happened. Alexa, stop. I thought about this. Good morning, Shine. I see you. Look, I thought about this. I had a conversation with someone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And in this conversation, if y'all hear my fan in the back, I will not go through menopause this morning, Jesus, on the main line. No, I got my fan with me, so I will not do that again. But listen, I decided to go live for the month of October every Tuesday. It's going to be between 7 and 9. Y'all know the girl be working, so I don't know what time I'm going to pop up. But I'm going to pop out between those times in the morning. It's easier for me, and that way I can get some work done. But I wanted to do this because, welcome to the BAM, all the new followers. Thank y'all for being a part, as well as those of you that are on, those of you that will watch the replay. Listen, I wanted to do this live because of a couple of reasons. The month of October, I was sharing somebody, they said, Pastor T, like you love celebrating. I'm going to find a reason to celebrate. If I have anybody on here that find reasons to celebrate, it allows me to keep living. It allows me to keep growing. It allows me to keep striving. It allows me to keep doing the very things that God has designed for me to do. And so with that, I have learned how to celebrate different things and different milestones, because I've learned how to make my stepping stones of failures and setbacks and mistakes a success. And so for the next 4 weeks, I want to show you, and I'm celebrating a couple of things. Number one, I'm celebrating breast cancer awareness to all my ladies out there that have experienced breast cancer awareness. Shout out to you if you're watching this video. I'm going to also put it on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching this, shout out to you for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. For those of you, I had a scare a couple of months ago and went to the doctor, got my mammogram. So make sure you go get your mammogram. They scared me to death. I was there for a couple of hours because they thought that there was an issue, but thank God it was not. Praise the Lord. But shout out to several people on here. Also, shout out to Pastoral Month. Shout out to my pastor, my baby daddy, my husband that pastors with me. It's Pastor Appreciation Month, right? So shout out to every pastor that is out here continuing to move, grow. And if you're in here and you're a pastor, God bless you and all your endeavors, okay? So shout out to that. Another celebration this month that most people are celebrating is what you call Women in Business Month, which is one of my fortes. I love to support women in business, and I love to do different things that would allow people to get unstuck and get to where they're supposed to be. So all of these things are happening with that is out there for social media to celebrate. They didn't find every day, every month to find something to celebrate. So I celebrate all those things, but I also have to pause and celebrate the fact that this was the month 14 years ago that God gave me a vision, and I started a ministry, and it was the most scariest thing that I've ever done. In the month of October was Women of Destiny. So Women of Destiny, if you're in here, shout out to you. Shameless plug, this Saturday at 9:30 a.m. No, I was not going live just for this. No, I'm going live every month, every Tuesday in this month. because I want to share some principles with you. So shout out to every person that is a part of my Women of Destiny. If you ever even been to anything that we've done, thank you for being a part of what Women of Destiny does. 14 years this Saturday. We are celebrating and using tools to empower, man. You don't want to miss it. My husband's going to be speaking to multiple people. So that's not what this is about. But also, I got to stop and pause and celebrate I'm not going to get emotional, Sister Lee. I feel like I'm about to get emotional. This month was so special for me too, because it was also the month that I learned to turn my pain. And oh my God, Ashton, I'm trying not to cry. Y'all know I'm a crybaby. Because when I start thinking about the goodness of God and everything that he's done and every way that he made, it makes me excited, and I share my story because I want others to know that God can use your pain to allow you to push to a level that you ain't never seen before. And this month was another milestone, stepping stone for me, because this is the month my first book was birthed out. Come here. This is my very first book. And when I looked at this book this morning, this is the very first book. When I was told in school that I would never be nothing, when I was told I couldn't be all right, that girl, you ain't as smart, whatever. I'm now, this is my first book that I wrote. And this book is called There's Power in Your Pain When You Learn to Speak Life into It, right? So this month, I celebrate my milestones. I celebrate with you. Find you a reason to celebrate. You understand me? Find you a reason. There's a lot of stuff that I've done several in most months of the year. And because I've been doing purpose since 2015, this book came out. I have been walking in purpose. And I said, after praying and like, man, what can I do this month for the BAM community? And what can I do to be able to share? And this was on my heart. If you saw the flyers, it's going to be multiple things that I'm going to share. And I came on Tuesday. I deleted the video, but I kind of shared with you. I'm going to go live every Tuesday. I didn't know what it was going to be. But God said, share your pain, share your trial, and share your journey of how you turn your pain into purpose, how you turn your purpose into passion, and how you turn your passion into profit. Every level of this has caused pain. What am I telling you? What's up, Liz? She say my favorite book ever. Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. This was my first book, man. This book was the heart of my trial, the heart of not just doing things in the four walls of the church. Come here. Not just doing ministry outside of church, because I've been in church all my life. And so I'm learned how to do ministry outside of church. And this was my first stepping stone to no longer just being Clyde's wife, Kiana, Alana, and Madison's mother, and no longer just being the pastor's wife of New Destiny and living my life for others. So if that is you and you've lived your life this far for others, these next 4 weeks is going to be catastrophic for you. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it's going to be major for you, because I'm going to share my testimony and I'm going to share my trials, but I'm going to also show you how this girl that you're looking at and you joined this page to be with, don't mind sharing her story, and don't mind letting you know that if you decide to not just to live with expectation, but when you decide as an individual to live as a creator because of the creator that created you, that there's going to be, let me pause and park right there. I felt that in my shanana. What do I mean? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. God created the moons. Oh yeah, I'm going biblical. God created the moons and the stars. In 2015, this came to me, Liz, like no other. And I would never forget it. And every time I want to quit, this reminds me of my why. The scripture Genesis 1 is somewhere in Genesis chapter 1, where God created the heavens and the earth. He created the moons, the stars. He created the animals. He created the ocean. God created all these things. But you know what got me through this all, Liz? What got me through this is that he turned around and he created male and female. And when he got done creating us, he said, I created you in my image to be like me. Come here, Sister Lee. When he said, I created you in my image to be like me, I feel the glory of God in this. Hear me. Hear me. And I'm not trying to yell, but I'm passionate about it, because that day was the catastrophic moment, transformation, a trajectory of who you are talking to and listening, or who you talk to, but who you're listening to right now. It was not overnight, but it was constantly, and it's continually to be constant transformation. That's why I created Butterfly Academy Mentorship, to transform minds, to have a metamorphosis experience with your gift, with your thing that God has called you to create. So when I thought about it, I thought about, Sister Lee, when I did this, that God said I created the heavens and the earth. And when I created the heavens and the earth, I created you to be like me. Because I'm the creator. I created you to create. Can you type that? I created you. I'm the creator. And I've created you to create. So it behooves me, Liz, when Ashton, when I find someone that gets stuck in their pain, that I find someone that gets stuck and complacent in the thing that they know that if you get up, there's some things that you can see. There's too many people that have things in the grave, that they leave their dreams in the grave. I come to be the one. I come to be the one to snatch everything from death to life that you are walking in. I am the one that reminds you that you were created in his image to be like him. To be just like him. So I'm the one, come here, Ashton. I'm the one that come and make sure that don't your dreams go to your grave. I'm the one to snatch dream. I don't know what you want to call it. I'm a snatcher from death, whatever you want to call it. I'm the one to make sure that you do not leave if you follow me, if you rock out, if you connect with me, I'm contagious. Type that. You can also be contagious to your surrounding. To those that are connected to you. You can also be contagious to a point to where it will be a great contagious that will be able to grow people in another level that they ain't never seen before. So this book was when I learned to turn my pain into purpose. And I learned how to become like the one that created me. I ain't nothing like him. Don't get me wrong. There's nobody like God. God is omnipotent. I hope I said that right. God is omnipresent. There is no one like him. I don't care who's out there. Nobody can beat him being God. He is the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. He is all in one. There is nobody like God. I'm reminded of the song, What a God, what a God. Whew. There's nobody like him. He is amazing. I can't be like him. But one thing he gave me is pneuma. Pneuma in the Greek means his spirit. He has infused his spirit within you and me to create things that we ain't never created before. So this was my first creation. Can somebody type the first creation? What is the very thing that God has given you to create? The very thing that God has given you that is in you. Yours may not be a book. Yours may not be, a business. Yours may not be a man. But what is it that God has given you that you can't shake? And he told you to do. What's that thing that he told you to do? Yeah, think about it. I need you to think about that for a minute. What is the thing that God told you to create? And you've been sitting on it. And you've been waiting. If God made us the creator, if you don't know, no worries. Rock out with me for the next 4 weeks. We're going to talk. I'm going to show you how God unfolded. So you get a whole sneak peek live of me showing you how God unfolded. And not that I'm at a place. No, I got so much more. Check this out, Liz. What's up, Lady McGee? I got so much more that I have to do that I have not done because of fear. So don't listen, sugar. Don't count yourself out. We all walk in fear and doubt and and isolation. I mean, not isolation, but paralyzed and not moving into the place that we're supposed to be. I know. Somebody say mine is my book. I love it. Yes. I'm working with, I can't wait to see it unfold. I can't wait. The very thing that you create, I would even say, Shine, yours is also your business, because some things you create with an idea. Come here. You have an idea and you create that. And because you creating the idea that wasn't there before, that's what I love about, what me and Bishop have built together. Everything we built with an idea. We built on an idea. All right. So, okay, let me get to the point. What am I saying? For the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be sharing with you how to go from pain to purpose, how I went from pain to purpose, but also equipping you, not just sharing my story. It's not a story of glory. Please understand that everything I went through hell to get it. Yeah, I said it. I know it's not. I know hell is hot. That's what they say. I don't want to go there. I don't want to know nothing about it. But I say that because it felt like that. It felt like that's what I was going through. Excuse me. It felt like that's what I was going through in the midst of it. In every trial, every tribulation, I had to work to get it. Can you type in the screen? It take work. It take work to be disciplined. It take work to stay focused. It take work to walk in purpose. It takes work. But one thing I know that it takes is finding God in those hardest places that you can. I always say that nobody can tell me how to overcome a marriage of 25 years unless you done been in one and you didn't hit rock bottom. Yeah, you can't really tell me how to do that. I need somebody else. That's why I have a covering that has been in marriage over 30, 40 years. I think they've been together 40 years. Excuse me. I think they've been together 40 years, but I need somebody that's going to tell me they done been through some stuff. They can tell me. They can literally let me know that all things work together for the good of those who love him, that are called according to his purpose. I really need someone to be able to be in that vein that can be able to tell me, because you hit rock bottom and you know what it feels like. You know what it looks like. You know what it smells like. You know what it sounds like, because there's a certain sound and feeling to that type of pain that you've experienced. It's not like a regular cut. It is a pain that is unbearable, that is unexplainable. All right. So until you've been there, you don't really understand how to get from pain to purpose. And most people on here, if you've ever been through pain, I need you to put the number 1 in the screen. You've been to a place of rock bottom that, baby, if they only knew what you really been through, I need you to put the number 1. If they only knew exactly what you've been through, they would say, oh my God, girl, you should have lost your mind. I can't wait to Shine book come out. I'm so ready. I done read it already. And I can't wait till it come out, because baby, I was like, woo. She had me on my toes, and I can't wait to promote it and help her just get this thing off the ground. I'm telling you. But I will tell you this. All of you that have experienced, I see you. I see your ones. All of you that have experienced pain, it is understanding this. And I want you to type this in the screen. That pain is never wasted. Pain is never wasted pain. Can you type that? Oh, yes, I'm slowing down because I want you to get this in your spirit. Pain is never wasted pain. It's never wasted. It's always necessary, and it's always needed. Pain is never wasted pain. Why? Because God can use it as a preparation tool for your next. Can you type that? I know it's a delay. I'm going to let you type in. Pain is never wasted pain. Why? Because God can use it as a preparation for your next. Pain is never wasted pain, man. Everything you go through is never wasted. What did you learn from it? Did you grow from it? Now, the problem is when we sit in the pain of what we've experienced, right? It's when we learn to sit in the pain. When I wrote this book of mine, right before I wrote this book, I had experienced so much. I had experienced, my husband being a minister. I experienced stuff, but way before that, I experienced stuff as a child. I experienced stuff, and I write that in the book. I was bringing baggage as a minister's wife, and then when I became a pastor's wife, I did not realize how much baggage I was bringing until I started finding myself getting into my feelings that equaled failure, that caused me to do things that caused delay. Yeah, my feelings that equal failure that end up causing me delay. Have you ever been there? Don't let me be out here by myself. I need you to heart it up. Have you ever been there where your feelings cause you failure and also cause you delay? It caused you to be delayed of your destiny that God has designed for you. So I found myself going in a vicious cycle. I would do one thing in growth. I started Women of Destiny. I did one thing in growth, and I was able to help women. That was really, really big for me because of the simple fact, Lady McGee, I did not do women. So because I didn't do women, Sugarfoot, that was a huge transition for me to step out and, be able to do conferences, do workshops, do retreats, do, all of this stuff. And it was a growing moment to me, but there was a lot of failing moments because I got in my feelings. I was going through, whatever. Hurt a lot of people in the process. I won't take on all because they also hurt me, but it was one of those that I should have been more mature. But until I allow God to come into my heart and create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me and look at the woman in the mirror, it wasn't until then, and around 2014, I started having I done had several Damascus moments, okay? Anybody ever had Damascus moment? If you don't know what that is, that was when Paul got kicked off the horse. I think he was Saul at the time. He got kicked off the horse, and when he got tossed off the horse for 3 days, he was blind. He was in Damascus when it happened. Have you ever had a Damascus moment? Yeah, I done had several, Sugarfoot. I done had several Damascus moments where I've been kicked off my high horse that God had to do some things within me. And around this time he did that. So I ended up on a cane. Long story short, some of you didn't heard it, but act like you didn't. I end up on a cane. I end up, things were going on with my kidneys, all of that great stuff. And while on this cane, in the midst of my pain, I ended up, come here, while in my pain, God was creating in me a new heart. God was changing me as an individual to not focus on just people, but now focus on the growth of Tonya. Can you type in your name and say the growth of the growth of God? It's sometimes we have to focus on the growth of me. I had to deal with the enemy within me. Come here. No, type that instead. Dealing with the enemy within me. I'm not talking about the enemy of those around you, but dealing with the enemy within me. Don't you know sometimes the devil can use you to act up? Yeah, you know that? Yeah, he can use you to act up. He can use you to make mistakes. He can use you to get out of pocket with people when you know you didn't overcame that. He was dealing with the enemy within. I see y'all the growth that I love it. He was dealing with the enemy within me. Within Tonya, the pastor's wife, the one that was helping women overcome, the one that was letting women see themselves through God's eyes and not people. He was dealing with me. And in the midst of dealing with me, the enemy within me, I literally started the process around 2013-14. So when I got sick, because I was sick about 2 years. And so while I was in the midst of going through this, man, I started seeing me, and my focus became my purpose. I started, come here, Lady McGee. I started focusing on my focus. Type that. I started focusing on my focus, not worrying about everybody. And people can call it selfish. They can call it, all she do is think about, I don't care. I needed to heal from the little girl within, from the minister's wife that was broken, from the pastor's wife that was hurt by people that I poured into. I needed to take the time to heal. Now that was one level of healing. And then in 2018, I had to heal again completely. Like really needed to heal to where it doesn't faze me, right? To where I'm able to, somebody do something as a pastor's wife to me, it rolls off me like water on a duck. Okay, I could care less. Love you, but I got too much to do. But this is what it took, a process to get there though. So this first process for me, turning my pain into purpose, I'm gonna get to my core values because I gotta hurry up because I gotta go to work. Is that I had to learn in the midst of my pain while walking on a cane into work. While walking on a cane, going to work because I had to work. I could not work because we were broke. Type that. What happened when the Lord put you in a hole? Come here, Damascus moment, to where you literally got to go seeking and find out how to really get out of the mess that you may have caused because we were not good stewards of our money. I can't wait till y'all hear Bishop on Saturday. about money. I can't wait to, we've already shared it with the den. Shout out to those in the den. He already shared with them, but I can't wait till he share on Saturday, because we've done, that was years ago, but man, through that process, we learned how to live like no one else so that we can live like no one else. Right? But before that, Sister Lee, before that, Sugarfoot, I was spending money on high dollar heels. Don't act like I'm the only one. I see y'all. Don't put me out here in these streets. Baby, I go buy me a good old pair of $200-300 heels in a minute. I'll buy me some dresses in a minute. And we ain't had the money. Like, girl, what you doing? Living beyond your means. But God was like, okay, this is enough. You've asked me how to become. I know I'm excited about Saturday. I can't wait. Make sure y'all RSVP. Please help us, because we need those funds, okay, for budget. So please help us. But I realized, I realized this, that in the midst of that, I had to learn how to die to self when it came to my funds. And because in that time we were broke, I had to work while sick. It would normally take 20 minutes. I mean, it would normally take 10 minutes to get to, or 5 minutes to get to my office, to where we were working at. I was working for a company called Siva. And so it would take me 10 minutes to get to, or 5 minutes to get to the office. And this time, because I'm sick, it took me like 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Long story short, while in the midst of the Ashton, the Lord told me, okay, I need you to start writing down your journey. This is where the purpose began. Sometimes in your situation, God is telling you to write down or do the very thing that I called you to do. And if you don't do this, it will cause you to be at a place of bondage. It will cause you to be at a place of poverty mindset. It will cause you to be at a place. Are y'all hearing me? It will cause you to be at a place where you're stuck and you are not able to push past your fears, your doubt, your complacency. And I found myself there, but in that season, because there was nowhere else to turn. Oh my God, Jesus. When you have nowhere else to turn but to God, you have nowhere else to turn but to Him. If you ain't never been there, live long enough where I couldn't just go to my pastor. I couldn't go to my mama. I couldn't go to my daddy. I had to go to God, because I needed God to get me out of this dark hole of depression that I was in, because I couldn't buy my baby medicines. I couldn't do, man. And we were pastoring a church with multiple butts in the seat, and the church can't pay us because some of the people, if I can be honest, they were living in a poverty mindset. But because of the leaders living in a poverty mindset, also trickled down to the people. And we wasn't looking for our church to pay us. Now, don't get me wrong. You bless a prophet, you will receive a prophet's reward. I talk about that later. That's not what this is about. I'm talking about turning your pain into purpose. Turning your pain into purpose, to where you're finding God in your hardest place. Have you ever been there and you found God in your hardest moment? That is the best place to be. I need you to put the number 2. If you ever found God in your hardest moment, most of you on here, the only way you got to where you are is because you found God in your hardest moment. So I found God in my hardest moment, and I started the process of walking in purpose. I was doing it with the women of Destiny. Don't get me wrong. I feel like, I'm not going to lie, Sister Lee, I was walking in purpose in that moment. Don't get me wrong. I was walking in purpose in that moment, but it wasn't my full potential. Woo, Jesus. Type that, full potential. It wasn't my full potential. I was only meeting the minimum of what God called me to do. Can I talk to that person that is only meeting the minimum of what God called you to do, and you're not walking in your full potential? Maybe it's because you're not in the right rooms. Maybe it's because you're connected to the wrong people that is causing you to die spiritually. Maybe it's because you have allowed yourself to be okay with where you are and don't want to walk into the very thing that God has designed you to do. Maybe it's because you have made a choice to be okay with where you are. Only maybe. Just maybe. But you know it's more that you're supposed to be doing, but you ain't tapped into it. So I had to learn how to turn my pain into purpose and realize that, God, this pain that I'm going through is never wasted. Yeah, God, you're using this for my preparation. You understand me? You using this for my... So there's 4 things I want to teach you really, really quick. You know, I got principles, right? Principles that's going to allow you to process so you can progress in life when it comes to your purpose and going from your pain to your purpose. So when I was in pain and it wasn't just pain physically, I finally went through physical pain and I had my aha moment because of the physical pain. All right. Sometimes you need something that's going to wake you up and get your attention. If God is doing some stuff to you in your life right now and things are happening, it's only because he allowed it to happen. You got to have a Job experience to where God told the devil, listen, the devil came to him and said, can I have him? And God said, yeah, go ahead. The devil can't do nothing with you without permission. He got to get permission first. AKA the reason why he get permission and God gives him the okay to come after you is because he knew you can handle it. Because he know that he won't put more on you than you can bear. My bear and your bear are different. Okay? Everybody's bear is different. But whatever you're going through, you can bear it. Why? Because all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord, that are called according to his purpose. If you're called according to, it's going to work for your good. All right. So what does this look like? What does this look like when I learn to turn from pain to purpose and finding God in your hardest place? Number 1, your purpose in the pain is literally finding your purpose in the pain. While you're in it, while you dead in the middle, while you crying, come here, while you feel disappointed, right in there, right there. Somebody type in your purpose. Purpose in the pain, just type that, in the pain, right there, in there. That's what the Lord want to use here, right there. Lamisha, that's what he wants you right there. He don't want you when you're doing good. You're doing great. You all that. He don't want that, because this right here in the purpose, he gonna humble you right there. This is when you're in the setback of life. Right there. He wants you right everywhere. Sister Lee, you done rocked out with us for years. Every time we had a setback, when we got homeless, when we, you know what I'm saying, we were living in an apartment, we got dogged out by people. Right there. That's what the Lord wants you right there. This is the tool that he can use for training day. This is what you call training day. My training day. I thought it was in the church. I thought my training day, and it was, don't get me wrong, that was all a part of my training day. It made me stronger. It made me better. Everything that you go through life, from a kid all the way until adult, all the way until today, everything gonna make you better. But it's right there in that pain. Well, God, you're able to find God in the place of this pain that will cause you to say, wait a minute, chilly, bang, bang. God, what can I do? I'll never forget before writing this book, I felt like I was in a black tunnel. Have you ever been there? I felt like I was in this, and I always share this experience. People would ask me, how do you feel? I'm like, I'm in a black tunnel and there's no light. Have you ever been in a tunnel and you're driving through this tunnel, but you don't see no light and it's dark? I felt like there was no light. When I was going through this, on this cane, people have to carry me in church because I couldn't walk by myself. You know, they had to carry me upstairs. And baby, this is a lot to carry. They was carrying me upstairs, and then I gained over 80 plus pounds. So it was like horrible. Have you ever been there? You find your moment. This is mine, but find yours. That moment of pain where you realize that I cannot do this without God. Don't get me wrong. I needed my pastor, because I needed the words that was coming out of my man of God's mouth during that time and during that season. One of his sermons he was preaching was on training. One of his sermons was on overcoming pain. I needed that moment. But right there in the middle of that pain, right there, the setback of it, I had to ask myself, why am I here? And what is the lesson that I need to learn from this that's going to grow me up? What do I need to gain here? So while I was in the black hole of the tunnel, I'm not saying I was in the tunnel, but spiritually, I'm in a black hole of a tunnel and feeling like I have my finger is on the cliff. Have you ever been there? Can you put the butterfly in? That's when your transformation start right there. Put the butterfly. What's up, y'all? Put the butterfly. I want to speak to you that part of your pain. And if you there, girl, you in the right place, man. We want to empower you Saturday. Shameless plug. Sister Lee, put the link in there. Put the link for them to go on and RSVP. Come on. Stop playing. That ain't what this is about. I told you I'm going live every Tuesday. Shameless plug, though. We're going to put that link in there for you to come and be at the conference this Saturday. But that's not what this is about. But you're right there in that pain. If that is you, or if you ever been there, put the butterfly. Hey, Tonya, I know exactly what you're talking about. In this place of pain, God wants you right there in your Damascus. This is what you call your Damascus moment. This is what you call your woman with the issue of blood moment, where the woman of issue of blood went through pain for years. For me, I had to go through this for years and sometimes still go through it. What's up, Brittany? When you have been right there, you got to ask yourself, what is the lesson I need to gain from this? Because this is the lowest. Shine, hear me. That was the lowest. I had never been through sickness. I done been through before. We were homeless before. I've been through that. But I ain't never been there to where I'm paying tithes, paying offering. I'm a pastor's wife. By that, I was a co-pastor then. I'm doing what the Lord say do. But it wasn't enough. Because God had more on me, as I stated in the beginning of this whole live, because I and you are created in his image to be creators. Chilly, chilly, bang, bang. And if we are creators, that means that he has given us the tool within our pain to create. Did you hear what I said? I don't know what I said, but rewind and go back and listen later after this live. You got to be willing to use the very tools that you have learned in the midst of your lowest season, because you're going to have multiple. Can I tell you that? It ain't going to never stop, because you're constantly growing, because you're trying to be a creator, because you've seen God create. So you're no longer limiting yourself, or you're at a place where I no longer will limit myself to just be a person that is expecting God to do something, but I am going to create because God created me. So when you're at the lowest point, you got to ask yourself, I can't learn from the mountaintop when I'm doing good. I got to learn at the bottom of the mountain. Woo! Who am I talking to? You got to learn at the bottom. Come on, Lisa Nichols says it best. You got to be willing to climb the mountain. You can't just climb. You got to be willing to go up the mountain. I've never climbed a mountain before, but I've seen people climb it, and it don't look fun. It doesn't. You got to be willing to take the stairs and not the elevator. But when you climb a mountain, because sometimes your trials and your tribulations feel like mountains and it hurt. Your knees hurt, your back hurt, and even climbing stairs. You got to be willing to ask yourself, how can I find my purpose in my pain? Good morning, Miss Nicole. Oh, I got to call you. I think that's you. Yeah. How do I find my purpose in my pain? The way that I found my purpose in my pain, the Lord said, start writing. I thought it was a journal. I didn't know, Sister Lee, that it would be a book. But I started writing. And when I started writing my book, my journal, after about 5 different pages of writing, the Lord said, this is now your book. And it is called There is Power in Your Pain. When you learn to speak life into it. Now tell your story. Come here. That may not be what the Lord told you to do. He may told you to start a business. He may told you to start something. I don't know. We're going to get there. Where we're going to be. I'm going to tell you let me tell you, you're listening to a girl that can tell you how to go from homeless to 7 figures and plus. You understand me? I'm not saying that for bragging, but I'm telling you it took pain to get there. But first you got to learn how to turn your pain into purpose while you're in the pain. While you're in pain, how do I turn it into purpose? That's the first thing you got to learn when it comes to your purpose, all right? Number 2, you got to learn not only your purpose in your pain, but when you learn how to get from pain to purpose and finding God in it, in that place, you got to also learn the power of perspective. Okay, I done went too long. Okay, I got to hurry up, Sister Lee. Oh, we got to realize how to get from the power of perspective. The power of perspective. The power of perspective for me is when I wrote the book. Now, this how the enemy don't play fair. Y'all ready? This how the enemy. Is this helping? Okay, I see smoke. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I like it. Smoke. Listen, I don't know. When you get to this point, the power of perspective, because after you learn, okay, I started writing the book. I started doing what God told me to do, and I'm writing the book. But You got to get to a point, because this is where the enemy starts tricking your mind to make you think and remind you of your past and make you think you can't do it. As I was writing the book, the enemy started reminding me, because it's not God. He don't create confusion. It is the enemy that creates confusion, because God is not the author of confusion. Type that. When you start moving in your purpose, God is not the author of confusion. You ain't going to be people like, I'm all over the place. No, that is not God. That's confusion. You got to know that you know. I knew I had to write a book, but the enemy started telling me, giving me doubts. You didn't do great in school. Come here. You didn't graduate on time, because I graduated after my graduated class. Thank God I had the right people in my circle, called my husband, that was able to push me through. But I wasn't great in school. Yes, I was homecoming queen. Yes, I was whatever, nominated favorite. I don't know, but I was all that. But that didn't mean nothing. All the enemy kept reminding me of, you wasn't great in school. You didn't do, your grades wasn't all that great in school. Also reminded me, who gonna read your book? How they gonna read? Come here, Ashton. This gonna help you. Who gonna read your book? I ain't nobody gonna read that. Everybody gonna talk about you. They gonna say this and they gonna say that. And then the people that you're writing about, oh my God, they gonna have to say. The enemy started playing tricks on me. Dun, 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 dun. I know, I'm hood. Dun, dun. My mind playing tricks on me. That's old school. That's no mind. My mind's playing trick on me. My mind started to shift from what God told me to do in the middle of my pain and my purpose. But I had to have the power of perspective by remembering my why. Type that. Remember your why. Remember your why, and don't get to the point of why me. Because what the enemy wants to do, why I gotta be the one to do this? Why I gotta be the one to write the book? Why is it me? I don't understand. Why did God, I don't know if nobody gonna read this. I don't know. Come here, business owners. I don't know if nobody gonna pay me my worth. I don't know if nobody gonna pay me that. Come here, those in ministry. I don't know if I can lead out and lead people, because I got dirt. I got trials. I got tribulations. You gotta remember why God told you to start it in the first place. You got to refrain from your past and what you used to be, but you use it for your purpose. You hear me? Refrain from your past so you can use it for your purpose. That's why I use the power of writing the vision down. Because when you write it down, you make it plain so whoever can read it can run with it. I wrote down the vision of my program that I'm going to do. Yeah. I wrote it down. As soon as I wrote the vision down, the enemy tried to play mind games on me. But I had to remember my why. And as soon as I wrote it down, God started sending me opportunities. The power of perspective is remembering your why. All right? Y'all understand that? God is not the author of confusion. Yeah, that's what I was. Oh, wow. I just saw that. Yeah. But I want you to remember your why, shine, no matter what. That's what he does. He wants to do anything he can to stop destiny. He wants to delay destiny from happening. Type that. If you are in a moment of your life and God told you to do something, or you found your purpose and you're trying to identify what it is, this is the time that you got to remember your why. And you got to know that all the enemy is trying to do is delay you from destiny. Type that. He's trying to delay you from destiny. Delay you from destiny. All right, number 3, because I got to get done. Number 3, not on the purpose in your pain, not only do you find the power of perspective, but number 3, you got to understand the process before the promise. Type that. You got to understand the process before the promise. You got to understand the process before the promise. You understand me? Process before the promise. Yeah. There's a delay. I'll wait. Process before the promise. Before God promotes you in any area of your life. I hope y'all listening to me. I hope you're at work, whatever you're doing. But I want you to hear this and hear this very well. Before I wrote this book, and before I could get to promise, before God got me there had to be a process that I had to go through. Before God promotes you, he processes you. In your most painful season, you will find yourself in a place of training like never before that will allow you to get to your next assignment. Come here, Liz. Before your process. So before I wrote this book, if you would have told me that what's up, lady? Good morning, Latoya. If you would have told me that processing, that me going through that pain, and the book would have been birthed after that, I would have told you a lie. And it wasn't just about being an author, y'all. Hear me. It was about doing something that I've never done before in my life. And it was also about doing something that I can leave legacy here. That if I died today or tomorrow, that person that experienced pain like me, in their body, in their family, in any situation, they would be able to see how to overcome that pain and see that there's power in their pain when they learn to open their mouth and speak life into it. It wasn't just about writing a book. It was about being able, somebody walk up to me today and say, man, I'm going through so much pain. Sunday, for our anniversary, somebody walked up and said, man, I'm dealing with stuff and I need help. My wife going through some things. And I was able to give them a tangible tool, which was my book, that they paid for. And they were able to put it in their hand and they have it as a resource for their pain. Does that make sense? Okay, yours may not be a book, but even in the process of, if you would have told me, come here, Liz, come here, Latoya, come here, Lee, come here, what is her name? I saw somebody else. I can't see her statements, but I can see her heart. Like, if I can't see your words in here, I think there's a thing you have to click so I can see when you type in this thing, right? So make sure you kind of click. I don't know what it is, but if I can't see your messages and they're not in here and they're not showing up, it's only because something has to be clicked so that I can get your messages. I can't think of her name, but I see her face. But I would say this, it was a resource. But here's the thing. When Liz, Ashton, Sister Lee, when the Lord told us to downsize in 2019, it was the worst experience of my life. When the Lord allowed over 30 people to leave our ministry, it was the worst experience of my life. It was so painful, knowing that we had nothing to do with it. I take that back. To them, maybe. But to us, God showed my husband in a dream that all these people was finna leave our church. And he shared it with other leaders, and he told them that God saw, and I saw in a dream, a tornado, and we were in the middle of the tornado, Liz, and there was couches and stuff going. My husband had the same dream of us in a tornado holding on to a pipe, trying not to be sucked up in the tornado. Then God showed him that this church was finna be consumed, and whoever stayed was going to be able to be a part of what God was going to do next. We know, but we realize when it happened, it still caused pain. Even though he warned us, but it still caused pain. When we downsized and dogged out because of downsizing, and all we're doing is what God said do, man. But baby, the promises after the pain. Everybody shout, hey God, the promises after your pain is unexplainable, unbelievable. When we had to move in the church and God said, park your car in front of the church and let them talk. Baby, when God would turn your pain, they would look like underdogs. But baby, God was doing something. Hear me, Brittany. God was doing something, and you're on display. And don't realize that God is setting you up on display so that others can see the promises. Come here, Moses. So others can see the promises that God says. So baby, don't negate your pain, Sugarfoot. Your pain is never wasted. If you make a choice to turn that pain into purpose. I gotta go. Lord have mercy. If you turn that pain into purpose, yes, it's just one book. But how about this, Sister Lee? Now, years later, there's over 11 books that have been written, and my books have been in places that my feet have never tread. My books have come here. You could call it bragging, but there was some pain that had to go through that before you even see. Some people see the glory, but they don't know the story, sugar. There's a lot of story behind it. My books have been in states I ain't never been in. I can't think of the name of the state, the country that it was in, that they called me to do a live in a whole nother, baby. I can't, UK. United Kingdom. My books is in United Kingdom, bruh. Old girl from Texas. But God said, I'm using your pain. Come here. Those books have turned into classes and master classes. Those master classes have turned into an academy. You understand me? That academy, come here. Hear me. That also ignited my husband to even start a business. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It take pain. But do not never waste your pain. Because God is going to use it for preparation for something way bigger than you ever seen. You understand me? So, go through the process before the promise. Because it's coming. The Israelites had to get to the promised land. Even when they got over there, they sent some other people over there and they got scared. Bible said the time, they got scared. They got scared. Why did they get scared, Brittany? Because there was giants over there. And they told the people, nah, we don't need to go over there. Don't let these giants out here scare you, sugar. You better walk in your divine purpose and get to the promised land. And I thank God for a Joshua that showed up and said, I don't care if it is giants. We going anyway. You need people around you like that. That's why I always tell people I didn't marry a Boaz. That ain't my story. Baby, I got a Joshua. Cause we allow our failures to fuel our faith. Okay, last and not least, not only do we get to the promises, but lastly, your purpose births passion. Your purpose, and we're going to talk about passion next week, but your purpose will birth passion. The very thing that caused me pain, women, yep, I said it. I can't wait till y'all, Lamisha, I can't wait till they hear the new thing we got coming up. I can't wait till y'all hear the story. I don't know if Lamisha's still on here, but Lamisha know about what I'm talking about. What we just did this past time. I can't wait. But listen, where was I going? Oh, women was my passion. Women had to become my passion because Ashton ain't like them like that. Nothing getting nobody. I just didn't. I hung out with dudes in school. They called me a little tomboy. I didn't care, but I knew everybody's story. And I knew who they were sleeping with, so I made sure I ain't be the one. Hello, I made sure I wasn't the one. But I learned I had to allow the very people that caused me pain to become my passion. And what do I mean by that? Out of the pain of women and women coming against me and and that's why I'm an introvert. To be honest with you, I'm an introvert / I also do people, so I'm not that kind of introvert, right? That also do people. But out of your pain will often come your greatest passion. Now, I love to see women win. I'm reading a book now called She Win, You Win. That's how much I want to see women win. You understand me? Like, I mean that. I want to collaborate with women. If you saw my live that I deleted, Liz, I don't know if Liz is still on here. If you saw my live that I deleted, I said, hey, if you want to collaborate, because I'm at a point now, some things we're doing different in the den, and my husband and I going through coaching right now, and baby, it's going to be oh God, I cannot wait. But I said these words. I also love to collaborate with shameless plug. Also, if you got something that you do and you're legit, because I need a legit business to work with. I need you to be legit, and I'll tell you how to be legit later. But I need you to be all the way legit, and I can work with you, and we can partner together, and we can make money together. You understand me? But I learned how to allow women to become my passion. That makes sense? Can you type that? Allow your pain to become your passion. It will birth out passion, the thing you were born to do. And when I look back over my life, and I'm done. When I look back over my life, LaToya, I was always the one that invited everybody to the birthday party. I would do birthday parties. I would do events and get everybody to show up. And I wanted to make sure that I would do outings with women. And I didn't even realize that. And it was only a certain handful of women because I knew I could handle them. Meaning that, come here, Liz. I don't know if Liz is still on here. But I don't know if Liz remember this. Liz, I hope you're still on here. But I used to go out and we used to do, I would take them like to water parks and different parks and stuff like that before I became a pastor's wife. And I would just do outings with women. I would always have a girls' day. I'm known for that. because I wanted to allow women to come to a place and they feel better. I just did a girls' day and I posted it in the group with my pastor wives, and I surprised them and I told them, hey y'all, I want y'all to come to this spa with me. And so we had a spa day. But I was so, oh my God, I'm about to cry. I'm the type of woman, and I tell it people all the time, I'm loyal. Like, I rock out with the same people for years, 21 years of being under my leadership with my bishop, going to get my hair done this weekend with my stylist, and I've been with her over 18, 19 years. My nail tech, same. I'm that kind of girl to where I'm loyal until you can cross me wrong. I ain't gonna cut you off, but I will untie you. That's wrong. Don't listen to that. But I've even learned how to embrace those that don't like, or can't, or don't like what God is doing through me. And you got to learn to do that, even in your passion, because your passion gonna make you frustrated. The very thing, because women make me frustrated too at the same time. I know that's crazy, but it's the truth. But it's learning that I use it as a testimony that allows me to create content and information that will grow other people through my pain. So I learned how to allow my purpose to birth out my passion that allows me to help other women. So I love to see women win. And I mean that. Like, if we can collaborate together, or if I can teach you something and you go on and go with it, like, do that. I just realized that I have to also know my value and what I bring in order to show that information, because people ain't gonna show up if they don't pay. Most people. Yeah, you got to pay in order to pay attention. So with that said, is learning how to turn your passion. So I love women. I love women, y'all. I can't believe I'm saying it. I love women. It's something about us that when we get in a room together, man, in a great room, a positive room with like-minded women, there is so much that's birthed out in that room with women. You know what I'm saying? We can do powerful things together when we're in a positive room together. We can change lives together. We can birth out so many things together. And that's what I see in women. So I love to see women win. So how do I do that? I got to be willing to identify one of the areas in my life that cause me pain that I can use for my purpose. And I chose writing books. I chose doing master classes. I chose doing women's retreats. I chose doing women empowerments. I chose to do that. What do you choose? What is it that God placed on you that caused you pain, and you said you're going to turn that pain into purpose? What is that place that God has called you? You're finding God in the hardest place of your life. What you going to do with it? Are you going to create something with it? What are you going to do with it? The reason why my husband and I do disaster, which is one of our, we have seven different departments within Harden Enterprise, but one of our major departments is disaster. I was telling the team yesterday, I said, one of the reasons why we do disasters is because of this. And I'm really done. Is because we love to take an old house, raggedy, toe down, with good bones, and we take that house and we transform it into what everybody counted out and said probably wouldn't have never done, but that ain't gonna make it, that house too old. We love projects like that. And here's the thing, Brittany, we also do that in our ministry. We find people that everybody counted out, call them the underdogs, and we pour into them. And that's what God called us to. And I love it, because it turns out to be a beautiful thing later. I love to see the metamorphosis of a woman that comes in and she's broken in my program, and she don't know her identity, and she got a glimpse, but she don't know how to really untie that. Oh my God. And she leaves my program and she start walking in her purpose. Lady Perez, if she watches, she is one of my star students that I have seen transform into the woman that walked in my class 3-4 years ago. And she walked in and she was sick on her bed, sick as a dog. And now she's getting ready October, from going through my class,
The first thing she did was brought women together after she joined my class. Then the next class she joined in the BAM, they ended up doing an outing or something together. Then the third class she done, now she's doing a women's retreat this month. Shout out to her. Shout out to Lady Perez. Can y'all shout out to Lady Perez in this group? She is now getting ready for a women's conference this month. To see that unfold, oh my God. Or see somebody come in my program and they end up starting a business. You know what I'm saying? And they end up finding out that I can't just have a business without an LLC. I need to make sure if I'm going to do business all over the world, I need an LLC. If I'm going to do business, I need a DBA. And most people don't tell you that. Like, you gotta be out here doing business legit if you want to make money the right way. You got to be willing to have certifications if you want to go bigger to do business with other businesses. I teach that, man. You got to be willing to make sure you have your ducks in a row. And I also teach you how, okay, I'm done. So you got to be willing to turn that pain into purpose, and that purpose into profit, and the purpose into passion, and that passion into profit. We're going to talk for the next couple of weeks. Until then, thank y'all for rocking out. Thank y'all for showing up. But I will say this. If you're not, shameless plug, Sister Lee, I don't know if you have the link, Sister Lee. Can you share the link for them to sign up for the Women of Destiny conference this Saturday at 9 a.m. The doors open. And 9:30 we're kicking off. We're going straight into the workshop with some amazing speakers that are going to be rocking out with us. Sister Lee, I hope it's not a delay. I hope you got the link. If not, I'll make sure I share it in here. But grab that link. Sign up today. There's t-shirts if you want to get t-shirts. It's outside of the link. It's a $25 admission. $25 admission. This helps us take care of the budget. Thank you so much. I've never charged a conference. This is my first time. And I'm like, hey, it is what it is, because we gotta meet budget. So I would love for you guys to be a part of that and join us this Saturday at 9:30, where we're going to be talking about empower her in marriage, ministry, mindset, in the mind, in your mind, mental. Thank you, Sister Lee. In your mental, click that link, join us, and your mental, as well as in your money. Man, you don't want. Bishop walked in here this morning. I can't wait to hear what he got to say. He had chills and everything. But finally, and not least, y'all, also at this event, I'm gonna give it to my BAM first. Of course, those of you that are already signed up for my waiting list, there's an email that's going to come out to you guys this week. So join my BAM waiting list. I'm getting ready to push that and promote that come at the end of October for my BAM program. So if you're not on the waiting list, on my waiting list, oh, that's a shameless plug. I'm going to give you that. On my waiting list, you'll be able to have opportunities, but I'll also be doing a giveaway at the conference for my BAM program. But go and join my waiting list. I don't know if Sister Lee got that link. I'm sorry, Sister Lee. I'm giving you all kind of links. But you can go on my Tonya Harden page and you can find that link there. But join my waiting list. Those of you that have joined, look for an email soon where you're going to get a huge discount off of the BAM program. For the first 10 people that sign up, you're going to get a huge discount. Other than that, also, we're going to be giving away. Brittany, I saw that you signed up for the conference. Guess what we're giving away? Somebody type in the golden ticket and I'm done. There's a golden ticket. A golden ticket. I feel like the chocolate factory. Who's going to get the golden ticket? I forgot what they say, but there's going to be a golden ticket. Come 2026, you'll have an opportunity to get a major discount off of a golden ticket that I'm going to do. That's not for the BAM, but if you join the BAM, you're going to learn about it with the BAM. But there's a golden ticket. Should I tell them, Sister Lee, the golden ticket? Should I tell them? And this can go for those out of town too. So this is not just for those that are there. For those that's in the BAM, if you want your name in the golden ticket, I'm going to do this only for here in the BAM community. I need you to put I want the ticket. And Sister Lee is going to get your name, and we're going to put your name in one of the boxes. Only if you're out of town. If you're from another state, not those you that are in the surrounding area, you got to be at the conference to put your name in the ticket. No, ma'am, ham. But only for my people that are out of state, I need you to put, I want a ticket. Sister Lee say, no, ma'am. Sister Lee say, don't tell them. Sister Lee say, don't tell them. Okay, so you got to be at the conference to get it. But if you're in here and if you've ever been a part of my band program, this is going to be attached next year to my band program. It's going to be something major. So if you've ever been, if you are out of town in another state, let me make that clear, in another state. But if you at the conference, you got to come to the conference to get your name in the ticket. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm petty. Call me petty. Yep, petty Betty. Call me that. You got to come to the conference to get it. But if you're out of town in another state, hear me clearly, state, or you are in a whole nother, because I know I got some people that's like Dallas up in there. If you up in that area, you can say, I want the ticket. Only like Dallas. So y'all like 3-4 hours away. You got to be 3-4 hours away from us and you'll be able to get the ticket. Okay. But I want you to put that in there if you want a golden ticket, if you want to be a part of that, and you can win this prize at the event. Other than that, y'all, that's all I have. I got to get to work. Bishop gonna fire me. I keep saying that. Bishop ain't gonna fire me. But thank y'all for rocking out. Thank you, Sister Lee, for being helping me out. I appreciate you so much, y'all. Shout out to Sister Lee. She's our marketing lady that does a whole lot on the back end for all of our businesses. So y'all shout out to her. Heart it up for Sister Lee. Thank you for rocking out. Thank y'all for being on. I pray over your week. I pray join me next week around the same time, between 7 and 9. Just have your alert on, notification, and we're going to rock out. Next week, you guys, we are going to be talking about, what's my topic? Next week, we are going to be talking about from purpose to passion. You're going to be discovering what you're called to do. For those of you that don't know what you're called to do, we're going to talk about that next week. Also, thank you for rocking out for those that are watching the replay. Until next time, rock out with me this Saturday. This Saturday. Doors open at 9. I would love to see your face in the place. Rock out with us as we share some empowering tools that will be able to allow you to grow and glow and go to the next level, as well as stay for the conference. You don't want to miss it. Dynamic speaker that's going to be there as well. Until the end, if you don't remember anything else, remember you are a product of God's grace and mercy. When you see yourself through God's eyes and not people, see you guys next week. Make sure you RSVP. We need you to RSVP now. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.